Hey,
Why are you messaging me? We're sat next to each other.
I'd feel edgy talking about this even if we lowered our voices.
This?
The inheritance.
You want to talk about that now?
Even if you subtract the taxes, it's $800,000. $800K! I'm so astonished I'm finding it hard to relax.
You have a point.
It came from selling off some land they originally bought for dirt cheap, which exploded in value with the development of a nearby resort. Is what they said, right?
Yeah. Apparently they left almost all the money behind untouched.
It's such a crazy amount, my head feels funny. I know it's a little disrespectful to be discussing this so soon after your dad passed away. But no matter what I do, I can't relax.
Yeah, I'm pretty restless myself as the one who inherited it.
I want to settle down before we arrive home, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But since we are where we are, I thought it'd be better to message you.
Fair enough. Go on.
I'll just come straight out with it. Have you thought about how you're going to use the $800,000?
No, not yet. But I did inherit as part of my dad's will. So I want to avoid spending it lightly.
Yeah, I get that.
At any rate, I think it's best we keep it quiet for now. If we start spending it unwisely and people catch on, it could cause us problems with the figure being as high as it is.
Even from me and Trent?
Yeah, I think so. For now, at least. Mia's in the middle of her high school exams right now, and next year, it'll be Trent's turn. I think we should avoid anything that might shock them. When we do eventually tell them, let's make sure the time is right.
Dad, I know you're in the middle of work, but can you reply?
Huh? Mia?
Is now a good time?
Yeah, I'm on a direct train home from work, so it's fine. What is it?
I'm on the way home from school.
Huh? Shouldn't you be at your after-school club now?
The teacher's advisor had some stuff going on, so today got canceled. But when I decided to stop by the bookstore on one of my changeovers on the way home,
What's up?
I saw Mom flirting with some guy. On the open terrace of some cafe.
What?
I only managed to get the guy from behind, but do you want to see a picture?
Show me, please. This is...
It's hard to tell from the picture, but they had their fingers intertwined and were gazing to each other's eyes while deep in conversation. They kissed too.
I see.
My friend sneaked over and eavesdropped to try and figure out what they were talking about. Something about an inheritance?
The inheritance.
By any chance, is this about Grandpa's inheritance?
Probably. I'm gonna tell you everything soon.
Okay, I understand.
Tell the truth, I did think your mom had been behaving a little strange lately.
To be honest, me too.
Really?
Trent noticed it as well.
What are you playing at, Becky? To think you put your children through this.
I think Mom's gross.
Mia. Well, I get it. I guess that's the last thing a kid wants to see their mom doing. I'm sorry you had to see this side of your parents.
Stop it, Dad, you haven't done anything wrong.
Anyway, thanks for letting me know.
What will you do?
I'm still confused, and it's hard to think straight right now. But I'm pretty sure I need to gather more evidence.
Right.
Don't mention this to anyone for now, okay?
Got it. Dad.
Hmm?
I'm on your side.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Hey, sorry my message is late. I'm gonna stay over at my friend's place again tonight.
Your friend?
The girl I always stay with.
The one you made friends with 6 months back over your shared hobbies?
Yeah, that's her. She was talking to me about some things that were bothering her, but I don't think I'll make the last train now. I'm really sorry this happens so often. Me and doing the housework is such a big help.
Nope, this isn't gonna work with me anymore.
Huh?
You're cheating on me, aren't you?
Wait, what?
You're so careless that not just me, but even the kids noticed. I'm just wondering what the hell you think you're playing at. The private investigator said from the beginning you didn't seem concerned about hiding it.
Wow, you hired a private investigator. Fine, I'm having an affair.
You admitted that awfully easily. Should I interpret this as you being prepared for the divorce?
Well, I guess I did. If we've been found out, then I've got no choice. I'd rather just admit it and get it over with quickly than have it get messy and drag on. Besides, getting divorced involves nothing but positives for me.
You've changed.
Huh?
Actually, I have a feeling there's no merit in this affair for you.
Let's just get it out of the way instead of having it turn chaotic. By the way, the divorce papers are in the drawer of my dresser. I'll come and get my stuff when you're not at the house. So I'll leave when you hand them, and up to you. It'd be best if you could get it done this week, though.
I know what you want. You gonna go stay with your lover now?
Yeah, I am. You probably know who he is if you hired a private investigator, right?
Of course.
Well then, I won't go into minute detail, but that is where I'm going. When the compensation and other financial stuff's all been dealt with, give him a call, okay?
Okay.
Bye! Ugh, pick up!
What?
What the hell are you doing? Why do I have to pay compensation? And not just me, but my boyfriend too.
Ah, I see the paperwork arrived.
Ugh, not I see the paperwork arrived. The stuff that's written here. Me and my boyfriend have to pay you compensation? You're not splitting any of your assets? And you won't be paying child support for Mia and Trent? What the hell are you doing?
Is there a problem?
Obviously. First of all, the compensation is paid by the party responsible for the divorce.
You're the one responsible for the divorce.
No, I'm not. What are you saying? It's your fault for not being able to stop my heart from wandering.
Huh?
And the assets. Any assets obtained while married should be split 50-50 in a divorce. To think you try to keep everything to yourself. Are you ashamed to call yourself a man?
Even if I wanted to split my assets with you, you spent nearly all the money from our shared savings. There was barely $230 left in the account. Taking the compensation and child support into consideration, there was no way you were going to get any assets.
Huh? $230? Don't talk nonsense. You haven't actually forgotten, have you?
Forgotten what?
The $800,000 you inherited. You inherited it while we were married, so it's subject to asset distribution. Basically, it gets split in half, and $400,000 of it is mine.
By any chance, were you being that brazen with your lover on purpose so you could get your hands on the $400,000 when my assets were split?
Bingo. Divorce can't be initiated by the one having the affair, so I waited for you to do it for me. Ah, now me and him will finally get a fresh start and be happy together.
Just hold on a minute. Are you completely unaware that everything you just said is tragically diluted nonsense?
What? Nonsense?
Compensation for infidelity is paid by the party responsible for the affair to the partner they were unfaithful towards. That's why you and your lover will be the one paying me compensation.
Huh?
Also, and this was something my lawyer told me, but he said that property inherited by a spouse during a marriage isn't subject to asset division in the event of divorce.
No way!
My lawyer's number's in those documents. If you don't believe me, feel free to ask him in detail yourself.
Well, what about child support? Surely you'll be paying me child support payments.
I would if you were getting custody of Mia and Trent.
Well, you will then, won't you?
No, I won't.
I'm terribly sorry. But custody of children is always awarded to the mother.
I know that.
Right? Well then, to cover both of them, I want $1,500 per month in child support.
You haven't forgotten how old your kids are, have you?
What does that have to do with anything?
Mia's 16, Trent's 15. They're old enough to decide for themselves who they want to stay with.
Huh? That's a thing?
And FYI, they both said they want to stay with me.
Like hell they did! Children, you know, need their mothers more than their fathers. Not knowing that alone disqualifies you from being a dad. I'll be taking custody of them.
I told you, it's not happening.
Why?
Mia's the one who found out about the affair.
What?
As for Trent, he might not have seen anything directly, but he knew something was off for a long time. Do you really think they'd want to stay with the person responsible for hurting them with their infidelity?
How am I supposed to know that if they don't tell me?
Oh, and they've both blocked all communications from you.
What?
They said they don't want to see your face, and they don't want to talk to you.
No, wait, this can't be!
I think that should tell you how they feel about you.
No way, does this mean I won't get any money at all?
Obviously. In fact, you'll be the one paying.
No, wait!
All of the details are in the documents I sent you. So make sure you read them thoroughly.
Wait!
You can contact me through my lawyer from now on.
No!
Well then, I'll be blocking you now. My wife's affair was with her then-married ex-boyfriend who was in a relationship of 3 years. My wife and her ex were under the false impression that inherited property would be subject to asset distribution. So they shamelessly paraded their affair out in the open. But their plan was so sloppy and ignorant that I was left completely dumbfounded. Our kids were equally as astonished. After dragging their parents into the mess they'd created, they somehow managed to string together the compensation they owed, and I got all of it in a single payment. Her lover also got a divorce, and of course, they had to pay his wife's compensation too. It's said that money drives people crazy. There's something ironic about the two of them ending up in debt hell totaling over $150,000 because they were so obsessed with it. Now they spend their days working crazy hours living in a rundown apartment while constantly trying to shift the blame onto each other. This is all your fault!
Hey, Ali. Don't you feel ashamed for what you've done? Do you understand how much of a pain you are to others? Huh? What's gotten into you all of a sudden? How lame is it to be living unmarried and at your parents' house when you're 41 years old? Do you understand how much of a burden you are to our family? I don't think I'm a burden. The fact that you still live at home is embarrassing, which is a burden in and of itself. It's not normal for people to live at home at that age. I'm living at home, but most of the time I'm not even there. I also bring home money to support the family. You have no right as my older sister to complain about me. I'm embarrassed having you as a part of the family. You're a failure because you're still living in at home. Are you even listening to what I'm saying? You're a failure. That's why you can't get married. Popular girls like me can marry really quickly. Oh, really? You're right that you got married and had kids. And maybe our parents are grateful for that. But since I can't contribute in that same way, I have been giving mom and dad money. You're not doing that now, are you? You keep complaining about me. But you're also over 40 now. And since you're my older sister, you've lived even more than me. But even though you're the older sister, you and your husband still haven't sent our parents any money. What's up with that? I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm not responding. Don't ignore me. You just won't reply because I'm right. I'm not gonna play your little games. You're not even willing to listen to what I have to say. You know that I'm right. You're the one who's not willing to listen to what I have to say. I've kicked you out of mom and dad's house. Huh? What do you mean you kicked me out? You're not home now, right? I've told you a million times that I don't go home often, since I have to go on international business trips frequently. Are you saying that to brag? I'll have you known that nothing about that is worth bragging about. For me, having your own family is what truly can bring you happiness. You might be right. But everyone's values are different. I can't deny your way of thinking. So can you not accept my way of life? A 40-something-year-old unmarried woman like you serves no purpose. Are you listening? You're trash. Actually, some trash might be more valuable than you. How long are you going to berate me until you're satisfied? You're on a business trip right now, correct? You've worked all your life, and now you're 40. What's fun about a life like that? You really don't have to say that. I'm busy now, so are you done? If you want to keep talking, whatever. My husband and I are considering moving in with Mom and Dad. What? Really? That's why Mom and Dad said that they'll refuse to take any more money from you. You probably weren't giving them much anyways. We talked about inheritance too. They said they don't want you to claim the right to anything. So we're cutting ties off with you. Just treat us like strangers from now on, okay? Huh? Why were you guys talking about inheritance? Mom and Dad are still healthy, right? This is regarding future business. I don't want you to steal the inheritance from Mom and Dad. I'm the one who deserves it anyways. I get what you're saying, but I never had any intentions of claiming the right to the inheritance anyways. So then, why do I have to break off ties with the family? All I was doing was sending our parents some extra money. I've made it so that they cut off all ties with you, because I never want to see you again. Let's talk about this when I return home. I'll listen to what you want. This isn't something meant to be discussed over text. We should talk about this more calmly. If you want to move in with Mom and Dad, then that's fine. Do what you want. You don't seem to understand. You being there is a burden. Are you really going to say that? I had no intention of burdening anyone. Even if you didn't mean to be a burden, you are one. I'm done speaking with you. Why don't you go back to work? That's all you're good for anyways. I was gonna get back to work anyways. Don't be so nasty. My husband agrees with me. He thinks you're weird. Why would he say something so rude? I've barely even met with him, yet he says that about me? That's because it's weird for someone to be in their 40s, unmarried, and living with their parents. You boasting about how you give money to Mom and Dad is also a joke. Feel free to say whatever you want, but you have no right to say any of those things. Who does your husband even think he is? Don't make fun of my husband. Then how about you don't make fun of me? We need time to seriously talk this through. Talk to you later. My husband and I are moving in with Mom and Dad today. You'll have nowhere to live now. Huh? Seriously? I told you we should talk this through. Did you forget? There's nothing worth discussing with you. I've already thrown away your belongings. Huh? I know you looked down on me, but did you really have to go that far? While you were on your international business trip, I threw away everything into the dumpster. Since you always brag about your business trips. You're a good-for-nothing woman that still depends on her parents after hitting 40. Never come back. You should be ashamed of yourself. Throwing everything in the dumpster, wasn't that a hustle for you? It was, but it was worth it because now I can cut off ties from you. Did Mom and Dad agree to you doing this? They were on the fence about it at first, but they eventually came around. They did it so that you can become independent. Stop letting our parents support you and live on your own for once. Just because you're giving Mom and Dad money doesn't mean anything. You need to live independently. Did you seriously throw everything away? Yep. I did it while you were on your little trip. You're a parasite living off of Mom and Dad. Don't come home. Thanks. You made things easier for me. Huh? I said that I was going on a business trip, but I'm actually working here indefinitely and had no plans of going back. Huh? What do you mean? I used to go on international trips and return home when I got back into the country. But if I was living there full-time, then wouldn't I have had to pay rent? I don't understand. What are you even saying? So you're telling me that you weren't actually living there in the first place? Well, of course I would return home for short periods of time when I'd come back. But I never intended on fully living there. I already have a house in Paris. Huh? You have a house in Paris? I didn't tell you! I bought it last year. I was always moving between New York, London, and Paris. But from now on, I'd like to settle down in Paris. That's why I ended up buying the house. I don't understand what you're saying. How can you afford to buy a house in Paris? How? Well, I am working. I also just simply wanted to send money home to Mom and Dad. I pretended that it was for rent. Well, if Mom and Dad don't care anymore, then that's fine. I won't be planning on living there ever again anyways. I'm actually grateful that you cleaned up my room for me. Thanks. So you never planned on taking Mom and Dad's house as your own? Why would I do such a thing? I don't think I said anything about doing that. Yeah, you didn't say anything, but I didn't even know you wanted the house. If Mom and Dad are okay with you living there, then I don't have any complaints. Just do whatever you want, Mia. Huh? So what was I trying to compete for? I have no idea. I think it's respectable that you are raising your 2 kids, but I don't like being told what to do by you. If you want to break off ties with me, then go ahead. Of course, I'll stop sending money just like you said I should. In return, you threatened me to not take any of the inheritance, right? Yeah. What's even there to be inherited? Mom and Dad are just living off their pension. I don't think there will be anything left to give to us besides the house. I never planned on receiving the house anyways. So you really didn't have to compete with anyone. How could I have known? Does living off their pension really mean that they don't have much extra money? I suspected that you were surely using our parents' savings to go abroad since you go so often. Come on, you seriously know nothing about me. What do you mean? I've worked so hard to the point that they put me in magazines. I'm practically famous. You seriously know nothing. What? You're famous? I go by the name Arena. If you Google me, stuff should come up. I have tens of thousands of followers on social media. What do you mean? What kind of job do you even have? I'm a designer. The fact that you don't know is shocking. Huh? You're a designer? I've never heard this before. From your perspective, I'm just a 40-something-year-old who's unmarried and likes to have fun abroad. You think I'm some good-for-nothing loser that uses her parents' money to mess around. That's how it seemed. I'm sorry, but that's so far from the truth. I used the money I made to go abroad and learn. And now I've made it. By the way, I'm not lonely. I have a partner. What? A partner? We've been partners for a while now, but we just got engaged. Hold on, I just checked on Instagram. You're engaged to this good-looking guy? This must be a joke. It's not a joke. I'm sorry, but my life is a lot more fulfilling than you thought it was. There's no way that you can be engaged to some extremely handsome guy while I was cheated on by my shabby husband. And my life isn't going well? My husband quit his job and he returned to his hometown so that he can get by without paying rent. How come you're the one who gets to live a happy life? That's not fair. Can you calm down? What are you trying to say? You proclaimed that I would be kicked out of Mom and Dad's house and cut off from the family. Then you threw all my stuff out of the house. But now you're jealous? Please, get yourself together. Have you ever thought that maybe the reason you're in this situation is the result of your own actions? What are you saying? There's nothing more that I can do for you. You and your husband can take care of our parents. That's what you wanted, right? In the meantime, I'll be living happily in Paris. Bye! I'll probably never see you again. We learned about Ali's situation and how she was always looked down upon, and her older sister Mia, who went crazy from jealousy. Their parents lived on a tight budget, sustaining their livelihoods through their pension. Mia later realized that living with her parents wouldn't allow her to gain any money. In the end, her husband cheated on her, so she left. She took care of her kids at home with her parents, and even got a job to make some money. This made Mia realize that she should have tried to get along better with her little sister and communicated with her more. It's times of need when she regrets not forming a bond with her sister. She especially regretted things when she saw Allie come on TV. Allie is so far out of reach to her now. Her family regrets not treating her well. They should have realized this sooner.